Welcome to part 8 of this puzzle run on chess.com. And so we've loaded up the first puzzle here, and alright, so Rook has moved to E2 here. And have you found the best move in this position? Alright, here we go. And mate, because this knight is pinned by the bishop and so cannot capture. And the king is in check and protected by this knight here. So let's move on to the next one. I hope you found that one. And a capture by the rook here on d5. So what can black do to follow up here? Well, I see a possible check, 2 checks. All right, so have you found the sequence yet? Check, capture, and mate. All right, I hope you found that one, and let's move on to the next one. Okay, the queen has jumped in here to b4. So, what do we have here? What do we have? The queen is attacking our knight. And so, I'm thinking there's a way to trap the queen possibly, but before I look at that, I'll just double check and make sure there is no threat against the white king that is a better move, which the white king looks safe. So we'll look here to find a way to trap the queen. All right. Well, this looks like a tricky sequence here. We can attack the queen. We could move here c6, attacking the queen and protecting this knight. But then the queen could retreat to here. And then what would we do? What would we do next? Okay, there is probably a way to trap this queen, but this is a tricky sequence here. Okay, so if we go c6, attacking the queen cannot capture there. The queen's under attack. The queen can only go here. And so then what do we do? We could move forward and fork the queen and the bishop. Maybe that is the best move if we can't capture that queen. Let's see if there's something else. If we can't move this bishop, or the queen can just capture here. So probably this move to protect the knight by the queen and attack the queen. So that is probably best. Okay, and then we just press forward with this fork. All right. And we just go ahead and material there. All right. Okay, moving on to the next one. The queen was in check, the king was in check by the queen, and so retreated. And so how will we follow this up? Well, okay. And we have a threat here on our own king of check by the queen, and the king would have to retreat, and then there would be mate. So we have to watch out for that. So we probably need checking moves that trap this black king. And how would we do that? So looks like feel free to pause the video if you have to solve it. Well, we could attack here, so capture with the rook on g6, putting the king in check. That is a possibility. And if the king would run, we could capture here, but he would most likely capture. If he captures here, we could check him here, but if he goes here, we could check him again. And we could check him that way. I don't know. Oh, also the queen can capture, so I didn't notice that. The queen could just recapture here. Ah, okay, I think I found it. A queen sacrifice. So check, 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 and mate. All right. That was an interesting little queen sacrifice. All right, I hope you found that, and I hope you found it before I did. So let us move on to the next one here. The king has just moved up. Well, what I see immediately is, well, I'll let you look at it for a second. Okay, so I see a possible rook capture on g7, forking the king and the queen. So the queen would have to capture, and then the pawn could capture. So that is one possibility, and we would just go ahead and material. But what type of counterattack would black have here? All right, and is that the best move there? Okay, that looks to be the best to me. All right, and then we just capture the queen. Okay, and then after this move, it looks like we can just capture that knight. Just capture the knight. All right. And so we're ahead. So hopefully you found that one. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, a capture here. Knight captures on c3. We could trade queens. But first, well, we could just capture that knight first. And then we're still attacking the queen. All right. Well, We could check the king here. The queen could block by moving here. If we capture, then we can go after, but then he could follow up with a fork here, forking our rooks. Well, not if we capture here. Okay. So is that best? No, it does not want that move. Okay. So after the capture, do we just capture here? Do we just capture here? Or capture with the pawn? There's a lot of options here. So we could just capture, and we're threatening this and the... Yeah, so this threatens both pieces. The queen was under attack, and now this knight is threatened. So we just capture. Alright, yeah, I should have seen that. But it got a little tricky there. Alright, on to the next one. Let's see here. Okay, the king was in check and has moved to g1. And so now... okay. Have you found the move here? This looks like a famous mating combination. Alright. So, knight to h3, double check. Check and smothered mate. So there we go. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, the pawn pushes forward to e6. What should we do? Do we just capture with the pawn, or do we have a better move going after the king? Can we go after white's king? If we check, the king can just move, attacking the knight. Then we could check him again. He could just move. Alright, well, do we move and attack the knight? Or do we just capture with the rook? But then he could capture. Capture with the pawn. Because if we capture with the rook and he captures and we capture, then he could fork the king and this rook. So, I think we just capture here. Just capture the knight. And then if the pawn captures, we just capture with the king. All right. And we're ahead there. Okay, on to the next one. All right, we have a knight that just captured here on f7. Oh, but we have a line on the king here, a discovered check. So what will be the best move here? How do we use this discovered check? We could do a discovered double check by moving here or here. So looks all right. Have you found the move yet? Here we go. And mate. All right. On to the next one. Okay, the knight is just captured in the center on e5. What do we do? What do we do here? Okay. Well, do we recapture there? it looks like a crazy sequence where, oh, do we capture with the bishop first? That may be. Capture with the bishop first. Or not. Ah, now it's tricky. Okay, let me take a look at this. Okay. If we attack with the knight first, we could just have this. So knight captures, knight captures. But then we have capture of the bishop. If the knight recaptures the queen, will capture and come out ahead. If we attack here first, then could have that. So, all right. So it looks like the knight should just capture. And then here we can capture attacking the queen. All right, so now we go after the queen. And we would just come out ahead. If black captures the knight and we capture the bishop, then we still have a one-piece advantage here. All right, and those maneuvers are tricky. That's well worth studying that, because I've seen that come up multiple times in games where there's a sequence of exchanges like that where you can possibly come out a piece ahead. I think that happened in one of my Blitz or Rapid games recently, and I missed it because, you know, especially if it's like a 3 or 4 move sequence. All right, on to the next one. Here we go. The queen has jumped up to d4, attacking my queen and this pawn. All right. What do we have here? What do we have? Okay. Ah, have you found the move? Check. And so here, the only possibility is a block with this bishop, and then the bishop would recapture, not the queen, because the queen has to guard this knight, but then the king would be trapped. All right, on to the next one. Okay, the king has just moved forward here. What should white do? Okay, white is trying to press his pawns forward, and black has this pawn on h4. Okay. All right, I think we need to guard. All right, if we come up here to guard this pawn, that way if he pushes forward and we capture, oh, excuse me, he can't push forward. We'll just capture, and he cannot get the capture the bishop. So maybe he would come this way and then push. So what is best? So here we guard this. And then now we can push forward, and he won't be able to stop both of these pawns. Although we have to be careful here, because if we push forward and he goes here, he'll be attacking our bishop. But that may not matter, because then we could just push forward and he wouldn't be able to stop it if he goes here. Yeah, we could just keep pushing forward. And there we go. We get the queen first, and we'll be able to stop his queen with or his pawn from queening with our queen. All right, on to the next one. Okay, the rook has just moved, attacking my queen on e4 here. So what do we do? We're attacking his queen. So we also have a threat of a capture with check there. All right. Have you found the move yet? I think that we should probably just capture with check there. So capture with check. Okay, so now he does that. And now we can move away with another check and then just pick off his queen. But let's see if there's anything better here. That looks to be the best. We just move our queen with check to g6. I don't see anything that's better. All right, so check, and now we can just pick off the queen. All right, okay, I'll try and get up over 2,000 here. So let me do, hopefully I can do it on the next puzzle, but we'll see. All right, the rook has just moved to d8, taking control of this open file. What should we do here? All right. Have you found a good move yet? All right. It appears that we can pick off the knight because that pawn is pinned by the queen to the king. So that looks to be the best move there. All right. And now, now it's a little tricky because that was one move I didn't look at. So now the queen is under attack, but we can't capture because there's a threat of this back rank mate. So what do we do here? What do we do? Oh, okay. I think I found the continuation. Have you found it? Oh, actually, no, that might not work either. Okay. So that became really tricky there. Well, we do have a check, but then the king could capture there. Okay, this just got a little trickier than I anticipated. We can't check on b5 as the queen would just capture. Our queen is under attack. Hopefully you found the follow-up to this. Let's see here. So this rook, if it moves, this one is a little tricky. All right, so that rook could check on f8, but does that do anything? Does that do anything at all? Huh. Boom. All right. Well, what can we do here? The knight move. Oh my word. This is like more tricky than I expected. If we go here, if we retreat this rook to protect the queen and he just captures and we capture, he still has this back rank mate. Huh. This one may have me stumped. We retreat the queen back to here, but then the rook just is captured. All right. Well, boom, boom. Ah, okay. Maybe we have something here. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Check. Huh. Ah, this one is stumping me. I cannot find this one. All right. We can't check. This queen is blocking everything. What do we do here? What do we do? We can't go here because we still have this back rank threat. All right. We have to back the queen up. Back up the queen. I don't know, to there. Of course, that's wrong. I don't know what to do here. Let's look at it one more time. He goes there. Do we check? The rook could come over. Do we go there? No. Have to move this queen. Man. Do we move the knight? No. I don't know. I cannot figure this one out. All right. Check. If we look at impossible moves, a check, the queen would just capture. All right. Do we check the king? No, I don't know. I have to find the solution. I have no idea what the heck to play in this. Wait a minute. Wait, how does that work? There's the threat of the back rank mate there. Hold on. after that, we capture. He goes here. And what did it just say to play? Oh, to go here, which can block the, okay. Here, this can move down and block. But why didn't he just take this? Why did he go here? Okay, now why didn't he capture that though? Hold on, I got, great. Okay, after capture, what is going on here? All right, after rook to d8, rook captures on f6, then queen to e5, queen to c4, what stopped him from not just capturing here? Oh, okay, this was under attack. All right. Okay, sorry that took so long. That one had me stumped. I had a little trouble with that one. All right, on to the next one. Try and break 2,000. Sorry it's taken so long. All right, here we go. The king has just moved to e1. And what does black have here? Well, what does black have? What does black have? A check. And another check. All right, have you found the sequence of moves here? It appears that we can just go check, and then check, and then check. All right, we made it up over 2,000. Oh, that last puzzle, though, threw me off. I hope you did better than I did on that one. All right, I'll stop there. This video already went a little bit long for a puzzle run. It was more like a puzzle crawl. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave comments, suggestions. Thank you, and have a great day.